played Windstrike here on Overpass. They had a 4-1 lead, and they finished the half 5-10. That T-side was the equivalent of hot dog water. Not impressive and kind of disgusting.
Smelled bad.
Yeah, it did. So I'm very worried for this T-side. You know, it's been a critical point of their performance throughout this minor run so far, and obviously Team Spirit, they're not an incompetent CT team when it comes to this map either. Seeing as we saw this slow start in the previous map, I mean, Mo opping on Overpass is a great thing once he's on the defense, and we saw that in his numbers yesterday, but on the T side where they begun, he was near non-existent. I don't think you can afford another lopsided half when you are now staring elimination in the face. But we'll see. A pistol would start it all off fantastically for them. And we did see the CTs come up short on Mirage in the pistol round. It seems to be happening yet again. Damage is there, but no one can hit a damn headshot. Davkos finally finding a kill to his name. Something for Spirit, but the bomb plant's already been taken by Gambit, and this pistol will follow suit. Or am I absolutely wrong? Because with a quick tippity tap, he has gotten himself back into the bomb site, only to perk our interests. Now it's disappointment. Gambit will take it.
Cleaned up. And if we're being objective, this is kind of a race to the bottom. It's strange that Gambit have picked this map. They picked this map.
Yes, they did.
Didn't do well yesterday. Spirit didn't do well as well, and they were able to watch Spirit play, so maybe they feel like there's some exploited weaknesses that they watched, that they feel like we matched up well against those. I don't know, but ultimately not very confident in either team to take this map, but we know someone has to take it.
That's the thing is, my question would be like, you know, where else did Gambit go then? Because they started off this tournament trying to play Train, and they lost to Simon Gaming. Then they come over to Overpass, a map that's supposed to be in their back pocket, and they barely beat Windstrike yesterday. Their Dust 2, the map that they've allowed to get into the Decider third over and over, also looks shaky.
You're right. You know, they haven't played any map well, honestly.
There's no hometown here for Gambit.
Train was super disappointing, and that was supposed to be at least their pick, at least the one thing that they would do well, and that the other teams would have to ban versus them, but that wasn't the case yesterday, or sorry, the day before. Here it is. Gambit entering onto the B site versus 5 CTs. We can see by the silhouettes, they're all going to be a threat, but Axel will take 2 out and make this round a whole lot easier.
I like the little bit of hesitation here for Gambit. They don't charge headstrong into B. They hesitate for a moment, and it allows them to clean up shop. So good. Pistols there, conversion follows suit, and we immediately have Spirit on a buy.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is a match of AUGs. Whoever gets more AUGs on CT side will win more rounds, because I think this will be, at the end of the day, when people start to adopt it more and eventually have the AUG in a place where people start having the conversation about whether or not it should be nerfed, Overpass will be by far the most important map to have this on, maybe followed closely by Train. But the amount of angles here, the amount of openings for double op setups, all of those things allude to the fact that it's certainly an AUG-friendly map, a scope-friendly map, a zoom-friendly map. And here it is, Sophic zoomed all the way in. Like, what exactly are you supposed to do to win that duel?
I don't know, Laundry.
Can't. It's a trick question.
Oh, you got me.
You got tricked.
The only solution is break the CT's economy. Don't let them afford the AUGs. Oh, wait. They're only $50 more than M4s. Oop. Frag grenade misses its mark for the most part. Dima, when that smoke fades, my friend, you are in question. But, well, he answers it convincingly. Exile flying through the barrels.
That was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Exile, he jumps through to kill the barrels player, but there was still a threat of a teammate that could assist later on. They maybe just needed to wait that out and execute while Exile was in a good position, maybe as the smoke dissipated, but sentiment early. And that is the trouble with trusting a flash. Like, yeah, you go through the motions, right? You did it correctly, you followed the manual, and you went off of a team's flash, but that doesn't guarantee you a kill. That might have been unsafe. Dima moves on to get another. And look at that, even chains it into a third.
Yep, killer headshots. Obviously Doja with just a Mach 10 and so many players ahead of him. He is not fit for the situation. So this is a mirrored image as to what happened yesterday between Gambit and Windstrike. Gambit wins the T-side pistol. They get a second round. They lose then immediately to Rifles bought in the third. And in that case yesterday, they followed up this round 3 loss with a victory. They used it to then get an anti-eco 4th round, and we never heard from them again. So hopefully for Gambit's sake, they don't get blown out of the water and completely lopsided here following the first victory for Spirit.
It's fair to say probably as well that because they both had bad T sides yesterday, that if a team doesn't have a dominant CT side, at least if Spirit doesn't have that now, then there's a huge window of opportunity for Gambit to come back into a game, even if they're down in rounds. And we know that Gambit, and basically half of every game, did fairly well on the CT side. In general, it seems like they've been far more prepared for the CT sides as opposed to the T sides. And I find irony in that because one player they picked up in Blade was kind of known for being a good. In fact, if you are a good caller, you're almost always known for what you can do on CT side. T side. There are a few exceptions. But it's kind of the place where you can get the most tactically creative and in-depth and complex about how you appear.
Right, because it's you setting the precedent.
There's a lot more map control to be taken on T side on maps. And most of the time in the round is dedicated to allowing you to work. Here's an opening that Ro2a finds, and that's a good way to boost. It was behind the high wall, but it was over the short wall that he wanted to peek, and he wasn't at risk of dying on the jump up.
SDY towards ramp, ready for the push. We saw it completely locked down in the previous round, and SDY gonna play proactive, wrapping around the pillar, trying to find kills before it's entirely in Gambit's control of the situation. So they're still at the cusp of the bomb site. They have not been afforded any movement forward. And they find themselves 2v2. Sotvik just next to Ro2a, who's making noise as he retreats on such low HP, that's easy. And the idea is Bondik must be back here, but he's gone, quickly tucking tail and heading elsewhere.
They know he was at Monster, now he's making his way back through spawn, can potentially go to A, he's not got enough grenades. He also doesn't have enough time to walk once he gets close to the site. And the rotate isn't exactly out, so maybe there is a bomb plan in store for Bondik, and potentially a chance at winning, as they won't be able to be here in time to know where he falls off to. They can't cut off any angles either, and it looks like he's going to play it quite standard. Takes the bomb, puts it down, goes to long, can potentially flank the stairs player at bathrooms, and it looks like that extended possibility was accounted for by Sotvik. Very good awareness by him.
Very good awareness, because Bondik is a great clutch player. So I feel like if you let Bondik into the round more so, if he gets back into the bathrooms, then you've got a real issue on your hands. Just like Gambit does now. That money bottomed out very early on their questionable side of this map.
Here's the first opening we saw, and as I mentioned, the boost, we didn't see it from Ro2a's perspective, but because they jumped up with their bodies against the high wall, that animation of your head bobbing before you're ready to shoot doesn't expose you to death, so kind of cool to have that boost go that way, as opposed to starting from the other side, which people normally try to do it from. Now, it's going to be a half buy for Gambit. They just spent not a half buy, they spent a little bit of money to upgrade their pistols. You could definitely call this an eco if you wanted to. Sotvik is one of two players pushed up on A. Both will be relatively safe. The stairs threat won't be too worrying for him.
Here then down. Sotvik, of course, that's his own smoke that he begins to spam as Ro2a wants to charge straight through it. They have timed the long play properly, so they get it nearly. Launders. Everybody arrives at the right time, but obviously just outgunned. Mowed down by Coldy and Sotvik. They hold it very well, though. Bomb plant, not even a death offered over to Gambit. Really bare bones minimum here.
It's crazy because you also feel a lot more confident with the AUGs sitting on site than you would other guns if they do give up that much map control. The reason that teams go stairs on T-side on the eco rounds is to make sure that nobody who's playing balloons can sit up there comfortably unless stairs control is involved. So it's a good way of kind of wrapping around the defense. If the CTs don't want to go aggressive in that tight choke point that is stairs, now Davkos is going to take a spawn to A. Eats a flash initially, so can't actually call to his teammates that it isn't going to be A presence. There isn't a lot, however, so that flash might have done numbers. Great nades going over the wall into Coldy. That's a free frag, and Mo also with the SIG, opening it up with the first rifle entry.
Nicely done. 5 versus 3 now, and that fourth player of Davkos is nowhere near this B bomb site, so a little smoke wall here from Spirit does seem to slow things down slightly. Sotvik, continuous in this utility usage, wants to set up SDY, but he's completely blind, and now the T's into the bomb site. Sure, he'll emerge from the back of the water, but only one kill so far. Bomb, though, has been left back. This opens space for SDY to add another couple kills to the tally, almost dropping it into the 1v1 clutch. But we're all tied up at 3. Excellently done from Gambit there with the grenades and Mo's first pick.
That was great. I don't know how they funneled the second kill in here to Mo, but he was just basically prepared. They used, it looked like, the shrapnel and dirt that gets kicked up by the HE to peek behind it, but it wasn't good enough. He was too keen and had great vision and was totally well prepared. So Gambit pulled that off. Again, that flash that blinds whoever it was that went to peek A initially. Might have been Sotfik. I think that was enormous to allowing that to creating success for that B site execute. See if they can pull off something interesting like that again. We know that Mir always ends up here on short. This is a position that a lot of players like him end up in. Notoriously, Nico, Madi. And he has proven to be extremely difficult to kill.
Scope in just after the time of which the terrorists round the corner.
Important for Sotfik to not be too scared when he's playing around these bathrooms. And that nade, if it gets released at the right time, oof, that could be money.
Exile's not dead, but certainly softened up. Nobody's giving him an angle with this boost. Just gonna spam back ever so slightly, and Gambit going shoulder to shoulder as they prepare to push in through Monster with 40 seconds left on the clock. Now Spirit do have a numbers advantage down here towards B. SDY scoped in, waiting for the headshots. Now he has confirmation that they are here, right on the cusp of the site. Little utility to try and support Dima, but he's just gonna crouch, welcoming them forward. There is a man on the bomb site already. Exile just next to him, sees his shoulder, starts to spam around as bomb is meant to be planted. Bondic does get it down, but SDY comes flying on top of the wood. He's gonna now re-back, and in fact, it is Mir. All alone versus 4. Spirit, this retake so quickly onto the bomb site because they never were pushed back to begin with.
7 kills in 2 rounds for SDY.
God damn.
Even on that last round they lost, he had so much impact, and that's going to result in Gambit, because of their rebuys, not being able to go forward guns now. We see 2 players that are over 3K. Those are the 2 players that SDY did not kill, and here he goes in with 4. Absolutely stellar performance. Aware of every single angle and every single fight that's about to occur. He is totally on top of things.
Taking that form from Mirage and just throwing it here into Overpass as well, straight out the gate. Remember, this is the same kid who went 0 and 14 just yesterday in one half of Dust 2. Gonna miss his first shot, but the fallback's fantastic. He stays alive, gets right back into the support of Coldy. And while he ultimately dies in the end, that's fine. There's still defenders here towards B. Dima dinked instantly, but dodges back and spams through smoke for a third.
The greatest comeback since LeBron's hairline. You get that now, right?
Yeah, because you've made it like about 6 times.
I was second the second time. You didn't get it the first time.
I didn't get it this time either.
I'll show you the memes. Somebody tweet him the memes.
Do you have a hair transplant?
You know, I don't know. Okay, I actually don't know. I do know it's hard to get hair back.
It's true. I mean, I don't have that problem
Some
yet.
people try and fail. You never know, Connor.
All I know is Tom Biz is bald.
Dav Cost is not bald.
But he is good at this game. Competent opper. Funny to actually see SDY picking up that sniper first and foremost at times. But if you've got depth in your talent, why not use it? Dive to the bottom of the pool. Inside of the water, Dav Cost retreats just back around one more corner, tries to set up Coldy, and this time Gambit aren't going to get pinched like that. They've had enough. They're looking to wrestle their way into the B site, but look who it is.
No, they're actually coming back up the stairs.
Ooh, right into Sotfik's lying wait. He does get himself a double.
It's about as much as they can ask for. Mir's going to hear this rotate, that flash, to let him know that it could potentially be a fallback. It looks like, though, SDY just wanted to reposition. and he finds an op frag. It's a 1v1. He doesn't know where the bomb is, but he can assume that is the two teammates who would enter a site. We're going to do it together. Bomb gets planted, and he's looking for the frag. He misses the shot on Axal, a critical one at that. It was a nice attempt from Spirit in the 2v4. Like, certainly a valiant try, but you have to expect it after the plays he's made so far in this game, the reposition that he just did in that 1v2, that he would also hit that shot.
Yeah, I think the only reason Axal wins is because SDY, you can see him, he was prepared for Axal to peek to the right side of the wood. Axal instead jumps on top. That slight reposition of the crosshair, not going to happen for SDY. And now he finds himself sniperless. Davkos does have one. He's got support watching his playground, so he can focus fully past the fountain. Sophic actually wins the duel inside of playground, so now the job made that much easier. Davkos looks down and falls back. They have their 5 versus 4. Why gamble that away? Try to take these profits all the way to the bank.
Interesting smoke grenade. It, I guess, assists Axal in moving up towards the side. I don't know if they want to flash him through like they did on the previous round. This time he kind of eats it, and the nade bounces off his chest, and therefore does more damage. His position will be understood. It won't be possible, however, to kill him easily.
Oh,
SDY has different plans. Comes right past the pillar to line of sight of 2 players, takes 1 for him. But he's still got 4 teammates left over.
Dima playing this water side perfectly. Right next to Sophic, the 2 of them trying to slow down the round, but Davkos ready for Mir. Scoped in from the heavens, puts it on Doja, last man into the bomb site, looking for targets. There's plenty to take, but they're all firing towards him. 6-4. Gambit keep trying to get their foot in the door. They get rounds on the board, but nothing further. They got to get that momentum rolling.
Their B-side excludes have been pretty simplistic. It's a combination of boosting on short to try to get their opening kill. They did the double nade. That was nice to get that boost frag, but apart from that, they don't seem to have too many more tricks, and instead try to work onto the site with a couple of simple smokes and have Axal lurk out of Monster. I think the biggest problem for Spirit is they do allow Gambit to come out of Monster, and sometimes that's enough for a team to be able to win. That's a lot of map control, but Spirit seemed prepared for this kind of exploit in their defense and don't seem uncomfortable when holding it. Cool to see Sumdai Young not afraid to jump through a smoke that's meant to hold him out when he feels like there's an opportunity.
Right. That's got to be the confidence from his performance right now. 13-7, 128 ADR, 10 rounds deep. And he is now armed to the teeth like the rest of Spirit. Gambit looking to gum Spirit to death at this point.
What's that, gum?
Yeah, because I said they're armed to the teeth.
Teeth?
Gambit aren't, so they don't have teeth. They're gumming them.
Gotcha. I was picturing like double bubble.
No. Hubba bubba.
Okay.
Granny gums, Lon.
Sun's out, gums out.
Davkos dancing around the APC. Smoke's thick, but so's the defense. Sophic and Coldy ready here to support the Opper, and again, it's just torn apart. We've seen that before from Gambit. Exact same type of an eco round. Get through bathrooms, try to burst from that last cusp of the bomb site in for the plant. And once more, they'll get nothing.
The way Spirit see it, you can get to a certain line, and then from there on, like, they're expecting of their teammates to try to be quite aggressive to stop the T's from getting to be able to plant a bomb. And we haven't seen that many bomb plants this half. And because of that, a lot of saves. Gambit have just pistols, less so than they did last round. I think maybe want to try to opt to change it up.
Ooh, nice nade. Goes deep, does damage. While Sophic's still inside of the bathrooms, he's lost the support of his teammate. He's got to tuck tail and run. Good bank frag from Davkos, and the support is back in action. Cut down just as quickly as the previous round. Spirit double up. It is 8-4. Gambit, not many more chances.
So 5 alive for 2 rounds in a row?
Yes.
4 or 5 alive. 9 or 10 people alive. That's just so much money saved. The half isn't quite over. That money will matter Gambit have to figure something out. They're able to get close to B, getting close to getting the bomb down, and it might be confirmation bias for them that they are getting so close, but it feels like Spirit are calculating how much map control they want to give up. I think lots of teams would lose rounds if they let T's get too close to the bomb sites that often. It just doesn't seem like a problem for them. It's not a big concern. The 4-1 here as Davkos goes out to peek A. He's not going to see any targets. He'll alert his teammates that maybe now they can go and think about defending against short. The late boost is successful. Mir, one of the key players of Gambit, gets taken out first. Now Spirit can kind of rest easy.
Yeah, Gambit, they were trying to go for a boost of their own. Doja was just waiting for Mir to come over, but Spirit throw it a little quicker. That lack of hesitation will net them a man advantage. Still plenty of smoke grenades to come soaring over and blanket this B site if they decide to go.
You can see that Gambit try to target here, but with this boost to look for headshot, and then once they boost to try to kill headshot, then they get Exile out to Monster, and they rely on his lurk, and he hasn't been successful every time. Or ever.
They don't want to give away this, but there you have it, rewarded for trying to throw it later in the round. 40 seconds up, they're going to go for the heaven smoke here from Mo. Spirit not yet willing to rotate entirely down from A, but now SDY will begin to confirm their numbers are near. Bondic still up on Party. That's going to allow for Gambit to focus forward as they run in. SDY drops downwards, and that actually pulls Mo so far around the corner that he's standing in no man's land for Coldie. Sotvik follows suit, and Bondic left entirely alone with no possession of bomb. That's a 9th for Spirit, undeniably.
Nice movement on the site from Sum Dai Young. He fell off ultimately, and I don't think he wanted to, but he knew exactly how he wanted to take that fight and was prepared in the circumstance that he did fail to edge off of the side of the site, that he could still hit the shot. Exile dies again, and he has been the focal point of how Gambit want to try to take B. It's been a combination of boost versus boost for Gambit and Spirit here on the B side from short, and then Exile moving in from Monster to try to get kills in tandem. They assist him by taking out the Barrels player. He assists them by entering one more on the site, but it's been one or the other that has failed consistently. Team Spirit off to a very strong lead. 2 rifles at least for Gambit. 2 deagles as well. But this could be the end of the line for Gambit. They lose this map, they are out of the minor. Yesterday, the implication was that they ended up in this match. They can't afford to do that again.
Right, everybody who makes it to playoffs can afford 1 loss in a best of 3. Like you just said.
Whoa! Woo!
Doja?
Still fast.
Still got it. Fresh haircut, new mouse pad. Making Spirit look like chumps. At least that once. But a grenade that could have done substantial damage just next to Gambit. Bit of a warning sign. You know, if anything, it tells Gambit that Spirit have a read as to exactly what they're doing.
Might end up being a consolation frag unless frontman once again, Exile out to Monster. Is now going to be, I guess, baiting the AK or preparing to explode off of this.
Blinded for a moment. Exile obviously so low on health that it's an easy player to take. Bondic, not the case. Davkos swings out and finishes him off with the sidearm. Good communication here from Spirit, and a great grenade goes deep into the bomb site. 2v2, but a health advantage clearly for Spirit as Gambit eject from the site itself and double back on Monster.
They've actually got another smoke too, so they can either smoke out long or just smoke short again and hold after they clear out the site. They'll soon find out. The 2 players have receded back from default off the short. Here it is.
Oh, Sotvik checking way too many positions. Davkos doubles on it. He's gonna go for the flash and tap bomb. Mo spraying away. Now he's susceptible to being killed himself. 21 HP, he's hiding, and he's got his knife out. Gonna go for the gun kill, or not. He'll take it. Awkward shots going down there on the B site, but Gambit, they'll edge it out.
A very strange 2v2. A very strange 1v1 to close it out. You know, not much to say there about what people could have done better. Smokes make things weird sometimes. But a nice 1D that wasn't done in vain. An entry to follow up from Bondic, and they get on the site after Dima is only able to capitalize on one. Davkos trades this from Heaven, but after that, the round is lost. Team Spirit still have a pretty sizable lead, and they move into this last round of the half with the opportunity to make it 10-5, which goes from sizable to commanding.
Right, of course. They are looking to get double digits here now. Well, they're fighting off the back foot. Again, op trades proficient, back and forth. I feel like this is the first time in a gun round we've seen Gambit do something a little different. I was going to say, for a T side of a map that they chose to play, sometimes their strategy looks redundant. You know, eco rounds constantly walking up on A. The amount of times we've seen that B split in the gun rounds as well. But here in the 15th, the final hurdle, they'll shake things up at least at the beginning of the round. They are inevitably heading back towards B through Monster with Bomb. Spirit, not anywhere nearby.
Dima evens out. Gambit have moved on to the B site. There's no rotates here, and Heaven's been smoked out. I think they're kind of confused about this, that they don't have to deal with players on the site who, again, they're so used to giving them space.
All three CTs initially in Heaven. They're going to bail out, leave SDY to op, and then push these rifles forward. They chuck out their utility, forcing Mir into the open, blinding him on top of it all. He goes for the wild spray down, and the trade's so efficient. Doja is gonna have to clutch this. The smoke will eventually fade. They tap the bomb once, and he reveals himself. So he's got the cover of the sandbag, sure enough, but he needs to get it here and now. Sprays them one after another. 9-6 the scoreline. Still, it's gonna favor Spirit at the end of the day, but Gambit have done enough. We know their CT sides are strong. We'll see if they can continue this series after the break. Gambit looking to wield the edge. They have an experience. They've been on stages far bigger than this and managed to survive. But elimination looms near, and Team Spirit will switch on over to the offense for what could be the very last half of Gambit's major run. Launders and Scrawny to take you through round 16 to 30, folks.
What about 30 through 40?
We'll get there if we have to. Or maybe we swap out.
Maybe we swap out. I think there's potential for that to happen, honestly, with the way the sims of these CT sides have gone.
Uh-oh. Got damage, but no headshots. It's the same problem Spirit seem to have in their pistol. Now that Doja and Mo are left 2v4, it is not looking too hot. Doja down, Mo responds. So his position revealed towards Graffiti. Coldy has ample cover to plant.
Oh. Not a headshot. A little bit of damage to a player who's almost dead. 1v3, the clock ticks down. Mo does not have an defuse kit to work with. And he doesn't seem to know where all three targets are.
No. Lacking information, weaponry, and utility. He's just gonna have to run in, and that will be the death of him. Spirit instantly into the double digits, and they could use this momentum early on. Everybody for their team now amidst the top of the scoreboard. You've got that outlier in SDY, but this is a team effort from Spirit.
We have to assume, based on what we've seen from both their T sides on Overpass in recent times, literally yesterday, that Spirit will have a struggle. We don't know if Spirit have fixed stuff, or if Gambit have actually fixed a lot of stuff, or if Gambit will just have a stalwart CT side and are just going to be a rock impossible to break open. But we do know that both these teams struggled heavily on the T side to get their rounds, and were mostly successful on CT side. Now here's an eco round that starts off strong for Team Spirit. Oh, sorry, the anti-eco, excuse me, to get the entries. I thought it was just the decimation of the team that won the pistol.
What's it like to get so excited only to be disappointed, Mohan?
Happens in my daily life all the time.
Exile's just looking to keep himself alive. Puts the smoke down and welcomes them inwards. Mo's scout is gone. I don't even think he fired a shot this time. Excuse me.
You can leave.
I prefer not to. I'd like to stick around. I mean, we have 2 of the 5 major major finalists that are in the minor circuit here in the server-facing elimination. Obviously being Mo and Doja. Do you know who the other 3 are? It's a big question to ask you on the top of your head, so I'll tell you. Apex, NBK, and Kierby. Major champions.
More fun facts, please.
Well, I'll have to steal some more. I'll get back to you, Launders.
Keep scrolling down that timeline.
Thank you, T. Grills.
T Grills?
Yeah.
Twigris?
No, T. Grills.
T Grills, yeah, that's his rap name, actually.
What it looks like. That's why I put a wisp on it. You know, there's a W in there.
Guitar. Smoke out from spawn to the back of Monster. It's a deep one, obviously. A flash just to check on any T's that might be overextending. And the door swings open to alert Young that he needs to flick and do it now. There's still a few more targets remaining in the B site, and it looks like Spirit might go head first into it. For some reason, I still feel confident that they'll have no trouble dealing with this stack. But this is going to be the best percentage chance for Gambit to win this round.
I love that they just go dead silent. Let Gambit stew in their uncertainty. It's a crock pot on the B bomb site. And then they all start shuffling. Although Coldy firing off kind of makes them stick around.
Yeah, but as soon as they second guess himself, Bondic pulls out of a very strong position on the left side of Monster that no longer has to be cleared. Footsteps were heard, Coldy gets a kill, and there's a counter boost to deny anybody from peeking on short. I don't know if Young gets hit here. Looks like not.
Boy. Bondic cleared out the moment they go on the entry. Like you said, it's nice to see that Spirit's hesitation pulls Bondic away from that committed corner spot, right? Allows the Monster players to come out for free, and look how effective they were in destroying that setup.
Another simple round win with majority alive for Team Spirit here in the second half. Now we move into the first rifle, and we can see what Gambit can do. This is the comfort zone for Gambit, but at this point, Spirit could stumble into a win. They just get one lucky round, an economic reset, a couple anti-ecos, and it doesn't matter how good Gambit were on CT side. They just didn't have enough opportunities to make mistakes. And you know they're not going to play perfect CS, so it'll take a lot, and it'll take a very strong CT side. But at least we'll see if they can make magic happen. You know, this is going to be the time to do it. Short control here for Team Spirit. Axile behind the smoke and ladder. The door's not open quite yet.
It's ready to strike, but maybe not even needed. CTs could just completely lock it down. Ro2a, confident that Monster was coming. And sure enough it is. The last two Ts do try to push their way desperately into the site. Bondic doubling back, has more safety now. He's got himself a third frag too. Like a pillar on this B site. He's worked his way around it, but Davkost's scout's fantastic. Although the M4's better. So he switches over and walks right into Mo. Patiently waiting over towards Graffiti. Nice to see Mo doesn't offer himself up, doesn't get caught wide swinging. Just let the terrorists walk into their deaths. Gambit are on the board.
That was a problem for Spirit. They did try this yesterday. There was B splits involved, and they almost worked their way out. If Young got his kills before his teammates died, maybe they would have gotten an entrance onto the site. I wouldn't be surprised if they lean on him, and if he does pull out a miraculous round for Spirit to get ahead in this T side, or at least feel a little bit better, because wouldn't be surprised if they run out of ideas quickly now. We've only saw one rifle round. Here's the second. The default towards A as the bomb clears out playground. There's not going to be any CTs who have pushed. Coldy releases that Molotov, and a player peeks right into it.
Exile ready and waiting for more. Throws his first smoke, grabs one off the dirt. All the while, Spirit, they're going to be heading straight into Mo. Sits back behind the corner of the flower box and waits. But Team Spirit opt not to keep going. Curious, normally at least, you know, you'd use that positioning to flood down through the top of bathrooms, clear out A, but no, they don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, all this running is going to count against them. Axile having forward position in the ladder is going to tell them a whole lot. And now he can actually work on a big flank. His teammates can sit patiently. Young seem to have called for them to come back, maybe?
Yeah, consistent B lurker in SDY. Always either outside Monster or inside short. Smoke lands, and we're at the 40-second mark, and still mere waiting.
It's going to be terrifying to see, because they know that that smoke came from A site, so it feels like Gambit have the drop on them, and that's true.
Right.
Oh
advantage.
My god.
Dima still going to make the most of it. Ro2a peeks out, and then Sotvic denies him, but Bondic's gotten himself a double. Again, it is Bondic to be the difference maker here on B, serving as a single-handed defense. He's cut them down enough to put Davkost to another clutch, but again, he'll come up empty-handed. Props to Bondic, stepping up when it really matters there.
Could have gone down.
It looked like Mir was going to be able to lock down Monster, and yet somehow Dima punctures through.
Very unlucky, right? Throws that Molotov. Probably didn't want to throw it into the smoke.
Right.
Maybe could have just thrown it in front of the smoke. That would have been better. And didn't even have to be exposed to do that. But it was a very unfortunate timing for him to die in that situation, though he did run that risk. If they were standing outside, they would hear him like pull the pin on his incendiary and... Or, yeah, sorry, another smoke, an incendiary. And then they could have pushed him, which they did. 12-8 the score. That was a round that I was thinking, okay, here's a round, Young gets lucky on the entry. They push in the B site, they even get the second kill, everything starts falling into place. Gambit lose a terrible round they should have never lost, and then the end of the map comes close.
I mean, that's the reason Gambit were losing maps yesterday versus Windstrike, was because they lost the rounds they should never ever lose. Rounds like this, when you see their opponents on just some pistols, Bondic gave up too many of those kinds of situations.
I don't think I've ever casted a game where a team has gotten eco'd so many times.
Right, exactly. So that's why today, when I see this similar purchase from Spirit, you know, they might not be just as good as Quick on an Eagle, but we know they're competent. And we know that Gambit have made mistakes. Not this round, of course. Locking it down into the 5 versus 3. Unleashing Exile slightly. He doesn't find anything else at mid, but at least they know it's still behind smoke. Double frag for Bondic, and only 1 T to find.
Gambit also very fortunate in the last 2 rounds of the last half. Mo won a 1v2, I think, and or denied a, yeah, he actually won a 1v2, and then Doja won one as well. And that's a lifeline in and of itself. So Spirit here looking a whole lot different now. Another bye on their hands. Gambit vying for double digits. Mo's got a decent spawn. Just gonna go for the low pick. It's not gonna see a target, but it is a monster rush.
Straight into the B site. They're gonna try to trickle their way in. One after another actually offers up the trade frags. Very efficient here from Gambit to keep 1 man above. Bondic again gonna have a chance. He's been so fantastic on this B site, but Sotfik with deep positioning nearly catches another man off guard. It's 2 survivors for Gambit, and behold after behold, Bondic is putting in work.
When his teammates have gone down, he has showed up, and that has been a key factor in their ability to win these rounds. Now, as for Spirit, I'm totally fine, like from my perspective, based on knowing that they're going to be a little bit rough on the T side, like seeing them do simplistic stuff,
sure.
B split, monster rush, these are all viable things, and because those rounds came close, that's good. That damage will count for something, but ultimately they need 4 rounds in total. It's getting a talking to. Mo and Blade just sharing words right now.
That's good, though.
A bit confused.
You bring in a guy like Blade, he should be sharing words in these sorts of moments. Countless years of experience. Nobody doubted the CT sides of either of these lineups. It's obviously huge for Spirit to come out with the pistol and conversions for a full 3 rounds immediately on the T side, but they have fallen flat. I mean real flat as of late.
Flat like the earth?
Even more so.
Even more flat than the earth, wow.
Because the earth's not flat.
Doesn't get much flatter than that.
Be as flat as your jokes.
It's gonna be as flat as your soda when I shake it up, alright?
Watch it, punk. Here comes Exile, not letting Dima get away. He heard the ruckus, figured he could take a 1v1 engagement, assumed it was safe to do so, and he was right. I've been pretty impressed by Doja in this particular position, playing on the monster ramp. When the cap players push out, he has been able to shut them down in the last few days. It's a pretty high-octane position because you're very susceptible to either side. If they get through, he's being washed away with the bomb site.
Not an easy spot to play by any means, and yeah, very high frag position. He'll get a lot of action for sure. Here's a situation. Doja looking for 2. He's got support from behind him. And it's just SDY. The absolute madman. The serial killer of this map.
Yeah,
multi-fragger, the clutch round player.
Keeping up the performance from the first map too, right? He's been huge in this series.
Consistent fragger.
MVP for Spirit at least. And I would say the MVP for Gambit would be Bondic in these most recent rounds.
Absolutely, absolutely the hero,
Completely killing that B bomb site. Curious to see if Spirit start going elsewhere because of him, or whether they try to find some kind of a solution particularly for his position. We shall see, because that's where we found ourselves. The gun rounds back on the menu. The problem is if you go away from Bondic at B, you find Mo on A. Good luck.
They slow it down and seems here to push out to short control. Dima up to bat. Bomb here outside monster. Gambit have gotten used to the consistent B threat, so they've actually got 4 players here. I mean, one's on flex, but there's only an A player back on the site. This is the site that Spirit want to hit, but it's the site that Gambit want them to hit. It'll take a lot to get in, and they haven't been able to do it before.
Here it comes. Smokes over top. Good counter flashes. Keeps players blind for a moment. SDY slips past, and Bondic, he's so blinded that SDY is allowed to pick up another kill. But then a third on top of it all. Is this a one-man show or what? Mo, the last to go, stands up into the heavens, dropping downwards and putting a Molotov behind them, could force their feet forward right into him, but he's not sure whether to look left or right. Sees them now on the site, gets the first, and it's SDY v Mo. That right there is the 4K that Spirit needed. They finally break into the B site.
Absolutely indomitable. What a crazy player this guy is. He gets out in the middle of all the action, half blind 4 times, manages to kill every single player from Gambit, even though they had a stack, and finally finishes off in the clutch 1v1 versus the Rotator, who has an op. That's nuts. That's nuts.
It's crazy that he gets by on just a sliver. I mean, you saw Bondic picking up all the pieces.
Oh man, there was so many chances. There were Bondic almost killed him, had a moment, but SDY stayed so composed. It's so easy to lose yourself, to not know where the next kill comes from, to forget that there's danger if you peek back into another angle, but need to figure out your next fight. I mean, he is seeing through the interference right now. He's in the Matrix.
The Gambit killer. At least he very well could be.
An absolute assassin.
Thing is, obviously, the threat of a reset looms near. Gambit by all the way back in. Still at a 2-round disadvantage. There's no questioning that B-site hold was still looking good. If it wasn't for SDY, they would have had it in the bag.
And it'll take more than that win to get the reset. It'll take back-to-back wins. And if they don't get it, Gambit will certainly even up numerically in rounds, maybe even take a lead. Team Spirit can't blow this. I think they need to do more work, making it seem to Gambit as though they're trying to change it up, as opposed to consistently attempting B flat out with no fakes, no map control attempts or anything. I mean, they don't have to risk dying. But here they go, they're gonna try it again.
Seem to want to do it. Doja blind immediately, Bondic caught throwing grenades, but still he comes up with a double. And a key piece, SDY is down. Bondic pushing back over to the monster, and while SDY can best Gambit once, it has been Bondic denying them way more often. Team Spirit just trudge headlong into the B site for what seems like the 5th time this half already.
And they only won once. And Sumdayoung dies in a continuation spray versus his teammates coming up short through a smoke, and the rest of them have to go through too. I mean, we're running drills at this point, and it's Gambit who have always had the answer. It's not really been Team Spirit to rush it time and time again, and Gambit can't figure it out. They had it figured out from the start, and the only reason that Spirit were able to win is because they went off of the strong individual performance of Sumdayoung. They just can't rely on that. That's why this is a team game. You have to heighten the team aspect, and right now they're throwing caution to the wind, and because of that, they have to save.
He will still succeed in getting 1 kill towards the A site. Looking for a bomb plant at the very least. It would help them cultivate cash. Mo looks to keep them back, but he's now being peppered from long. Sure, Coldy dies at the end, but we've got Sophic with his paws on an AK. Bondic comes upwards, trying to pepper Davcost. Will get him, surely. But they can slow this down now. Dima has an op. If only he hits that shot, it would have set up Sophic beautifully. He's gone, though. Back down into the B site, looking for his plant, quick as can be. However, Bondic already in position is down.
That's one hell of a shot, and all the nades. Nope, Muir actually has a Molotov. Sophic trying to get in position, almost catches one off guard. Doja comes out for the trade. Good alertness from him.
Man.
You saw it in your mind's eye.
Right, I definitely saw that. Sophic just blows Mir's brains out once he comes out from that doorway. At that point as well, Sophic could have just worked his way into the graffiti, could have gone back up at the heavens. Like he had options, right? He had escape routes.
The eco gets hectic.
A little too crazy.
Gambit fall on their feet.
I'd like to see Spirit throw something like that and maybe a gun round. You know, if they had smoke grenades for that back dumpster and bank, then they were fine to get the bomb plant.
I mean, eco A, go like rifle B. I mean,
it's simple.
Might as well turn X-ray on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they just need to at least try a little bit to give some attention to A on the rifle rounds, whether or not they want to go back to B.
They will. Little showing towards Fountain is enough to push the Opper off party. But it comes back for second servings, and Exile's deep in the corner. Down he goes. Mo knows he's all alone.
That's a big find. Mo knows what to do in this situation, though. He has been here before. Really good at fending off this site by himself. Kind of acts as just like this watchtower guard from the dice box, securing long. Patrolling the bathrooms.
There's that little bit of pressure we talked about, because it's still going to be the B split.
Oh my god.
Dima gets behind him. Surely they come back for this.
No, but the rotates are going directly out of B, and I can't blame them. Look at this.
Here's left up. Double dink? No, Sotvic was tagged up earlier, but the rotates were at least hesitant enough that Doja's still nearby. Still dies to SDY, but it's Bondic who has been fantastic on this bomb site, and we know this guy can clutch.
Oh, has he been spotted? It looks like yes. Bomb goes back to A. Dima peers over the railing at heaven, and that's it, dude. Dima makes his play. And Team Spirit, they bring out new stuff.
Right.
When it didn't seem like they had it. They faked A, and they did such a good job.
Can you believe it? It worked.
It worked. Yeah.
Something fresh. I do think, however, that it was very crucial for Coldy to get that kill on Mo, because you could see, even though they showed something towards bathrooms, they weren't falling off of that B bomb site. You know, they had deep positioning over towards barrels and ramp like they had been holding.
They technically could have gone to A for sure in that situation, and yeah, it did come down to fragging out at B, but honestly, the sentiment meant something. I don't think Gambit read that it was a guaranteed A hit yet. Dima got that kill so late. I think all that needed to happen was him to sit around for a few more seconds before the pressure was applied to B, because he actually got that kill, and Mo must have been so alarmed that he thought, well, okay, I couldn't even have told my teammates that anyone was even close yet. But this could be it, folks. The 2-0 if Spirit get 2 more rounds. And if they get this round, Gambit could be good on CT side, but they won't have the money to win.
Right. Remember this one, round 28 could very well be the defining factor in what was a very B-centric hit from Spirit. Over and over they went, but having tasted success because of the early A aggression, I think they'll do it again. Different setup. Mo and Exile still just the 2 players at A, but rather than being in the middle of bathrooms, they're going to be here towards the top. But Mo, he gets caught. And Exile's yet to reveal himself. The rotator's already dead. That's an open route to the A site unless Exile goes huge. And Sotvic seems to clear it. So the ump player's down 5 versus 2 with an MP9 and 5-7. No money in the bank. This is an atrocious spot for Gambit to be in. They're gonna make the play themselves. They opt to walk forward. One trade frag is all they'll take, and Spirit have 2 map and match points to try and eliminate Gambit Esports. With winning this series, they would at the very least, absolute very least, have a chance at the Minors' 3rd place play-in on January 27th. And also, obviously, another shot at qualifying to IEM Katowice, the major, the first of 2019.
That's such a big win. They can taste it. They can taste it. They are so close now. Gambit's map choice, obviously. There have just been so many things that have gone badly for Gambit. There's just so many tilt-inducing rounds last match yesterday. The reason that they're down here is obviously their 2nd chance. And now they're here and they potentially lose their map pick. Spirit poised for success. Sumdai Young, key player in this map. And it's been a valiant attempt by some players. You know, Bondic here in the 2nd half has come alive. But Team Spirit have even shown us that they can heighten the team aspect when push comes to shove, and have brought out the A setups, the A fakes, better B hits. Push Gambit now into a situation where they have to force. Mo has a scout. We've got 2 SMGs, 2 pistols. Mo will now fall back as Team Spirit do another thing new, taking long control, treating this as an anti-eco, and you definitely know why. Gambit's broke, and it's no secret.
And it really was the moment they started applying pressure towards this A site, the moment they tried changing things up, that they were able to find these last tidbits of success. You know, it was clear they wanted to hit that B site for as long as they could. But once they get into the last 5 rounds of the half, or rather map, they had no other option.
Oh, big flank, however.
Oh, yo, you're right. Exile already back in behind Playground. That's SDY as well with his back turn. This could be huge. Gambit, they have the long A. Oh, no! Just gets whipped on. And now things could go from bad to worse. Bonding, he's looking to hold inside of the flames. Team Spirit on the site are taking losses. 2 bodies down. Mir with cover, but Coldy with kills. It's all on Doja, the sex god, nowhere to be found. He's gonna have to come limping into the bomb site. A defense that was never erected.
Bomb has been planted.
Why are you laughing, Launders? This is a very serious moment. And we have Doja with an element of surprise, denied, and just like that, they're gone. They have fallen, the first team in the CIS minor playoffs to be eliminated. They had their hopes high, and Spirit most certainly have denied them. What a turnaround compared to their performance versus Avantgarde yesterday. They were blown out of the water. They looked awful.
It's crazy.
And understandably, were written off by a lot of people because of that. But wow. What a comeback today.
What a way to get 29 kills as well.
Yep.
Sam Dayoung. Axel was not even messing around. He just walked up to make sure that his CZ spray could not fail, hit the first bullet headshot, and got absolutely heat-goed.
Like, that's just unfair.
Yeah.
Poor guy didn't have a chance. Folks, we're going to throw this one over to the analyst desk to see how they feel about their predictions now that Spirit have eliminated Gambit.